I'm still confident in it. I think there is a downtrend right now because the torch isn't being passed from, Waugh to Brodeur to Luongo. The top tier names aren't there, but I still think there's some young guys that are pushing through. It depends on what organization they're playing for. And let's not forget, Adin Hill won a Stanley Cup last year. He's a Canadian kid, Alberta boy. So I still believe that there's some quality goaltending, but we have seen a trend, and it is a downtrend right now, a little bit of a cycle. I'm not sure where you're at, but what do you feel about it?
Well, it's not just Adin Hill, Noodles, that has won a cup in the last year. It was Darcy Kemper. Before that, it was Jordan Binnington with the St. Louis Blues, Braden Helby, Matt Murray twice, Corey Crawford. So you look at the last 9 Stanley Cup winners, 7 of those had a Canadian goaltender in the crease when they won the cup. Now, Matt Murray won it back-to-back, so 6 goalies in 7 cups in 9 years. Andrei Vasilevsky, the only non-Canadian goaltender to have won a cup as a starting netminder in the last 9 years. So they're still there. Here's my issue with where Canadian goaltenders are at now. It used to be where you develop your goaltenders in Major, Junior, and the OHL, Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, the Western Hockey League. But now, the development path of the Canadian juniors doesn't allow enough time for goalies to really mature, to really get the experience that you want. So you get drafted, you have 2 years. If you don't sign, you're washed up. If you're 20 years old, you're in the American League. If you're not ready to take on professional hockey, you're done.
Oh, the player is robbed at the other end by Hill.
We always talk about if you had one guy to win a game with, is it going to be one of these Canadian goaltenders that you mentioned, the Kempers, the Binningtons, guys like that, Matt Murray? Or is it going to be Shesterkin, Vasilevsky, top tier, Demko, Hellebuck? So that's where the challenge is right now when you're talking about winning as opposed to elite top talent. And that's where I think there is that argument, or at least a healthy debate, where are these goaltenders good enough? And I'll throw a guy like Stuart Skinner, who's developing, drafted by the Edmonton Oilers. We see him turning a corner recently, obviously, with the Edmonton Oilers playing well in front of him. But the challenge is, are these guys going to be the top tier when it's best on best? Right now, Canadian goaltending, I would argue, is probably 5th or 6th on the depth chart when it comes to the countries that you're challenging. It's Russia, Finland, Czech Republic, Sweden, even Germany's got good goaltending. So I think that's where people are pointing to and saying we are in a downtrend.
It used to be, well, Carey Price is going to be your number 1 goaltender, or Marty Brodeur, or Roberto Luongo, and then whenever you went to the World Championship, it was always somebody that stood out that was, well, they're all set. They've got the best goaltender in the tournament. Right now, I'm thinking a year ago, I would have answered Darcy Kemper, maybe Matt Murray. I don't know. I would have ventured a guess. Now I'm saying probably Adin Hill. Look, he won the cup with the Vegas Golden Knights, and he had a pretty good start to the season this year. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's Adin Hill.
In their 6th National Hockey League season, the Vegas Golden Knights have won the Stanley Cup.
You can name Binnington because he won, so they at least have the cachet behind him. Darcy Kemper, if he's playing well in Washington's a playoff team, which they're pushing up against it. These are guys that have the experience on the biggest stage, winning a Stanley Cup. So all you need is one guy to be playing well at the right time, and you believe in it. I think the biggest challenge is do you believe they're going to be able to do it at the most critical time? And would you argue whoever they're facing, whether it's the USA or it's Russia or Czech Republic or Finland, is the other guy in the other net the favorite, just based on the cachet or what they bring to the table?
Back in my days, all the goalies came from Quebec. Why? Because we had François Allaire and Benoit Allaire. It was so rare to have that type of goaltender coaching for the youngster, and we all went there. All the goalies from Quebec went to their hockey school. Well, now goalie coaching is worldwide. It's not just a niche that you have in a province or in a city. So I think maybe we've lost a little bit of our edge in Canada because we used to have that aspect of the game that was so different. Now it's everywhere in the US and Sweden and Switzerland, as you pointed out, in many countries. So I think we've lost our edge a little bit because of the coaching being so good all over the world.